Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and I'm here with the last product launch of the month from me, and it is one I'm excited about, and it's one that basically is long overdue. So, anyone who follows me knows I'm a bit addicted to labels, and labels, and labels, and labels. I use labels a lot in my ephemera, I use it in my personal journaling, I even use them sometimes in my art pieces. You get it? I like labels. So over the course of my creativity, I have spent a lot of money on things like these, like label stamps. I mean, and this is just four that I just pulled out. I mean, these are Tim Holtz ones. These are some clear ones, and these are other clear ones. And this is probably only half of the ones I've got. So I've spent quite a bit of money over the time trying to make my own labels. And also, I tend to purchase digital labels as a digital download. As you know, I'm a great fan of Tracy Fox and her digitals. And Tracy Fox is Love Junk Journals, I believe, on UK Etsy. And I use her digital all the time. I wouldn't like to tell you how many times I've printed and cut that out. So, anyway, this is going to tell you something you're probably not looking at. So these are the Tim Holtz sets. Yeah, the glaringly obvious thing is the money I spent on this, and I never used that. And looking at this, I've only used it once. This set, guess what? I've used two of them, but not those. And it dawned on me eventually, and I'm not the fastest person in the box, but it dawned on me eventually that I only really use 5 or 6 different sizes of stamps on a regular basis. I mean, labels on a regular basis, and therefore the reason these are empty, because these are the ones I don't lean to. It's like the round ones are lovely, but I can't cut a circle to save my life, and my craft punches never seem to fit those dimensions, so I tend not to use them. So I'm not going to say it was a waste of money for me. It got me to where I am now, and I have printed lots of labels. However, I thought, you know what? I want to make a label stamp myself that's affordable, the right size, and that I would find really useful. So that's what I've done, and this is it. And it's called Label Frames, and it's my latest release on PM Artist Studio. Now, I know you're going to say, Ceri, I've already got frames. That's fine. If you've got them and you're happy with them, that's fine. But this, to me, are my most popular sizes and shapes of labels. Okay, I use these all the time, but I want to show you, firstly, how to use them, just in case you are a beginner. Secondly, some hints and tips, and then show you the process that I would use for actually creating with them. Just put that to one side. Did that fly? Right. So first of all, I'm going to grab myself a sheet of coffee dyed paper. This could be any paper you want. I'm also going to pull in a few of these end pages from books. When I actually have a book from a thrift store and I get the book or I use the book for gluing, if there's any of these sort of pages, I keep them. And I've got a whole box of them. E.g., here's the whole box. And this is what I stamp my numbers on and other things like words on them. So I tend to use these as well. So I'm going to quickly do some stamping. This is just a big foam block. I got it from Hobbycraft here in the UK, and it's what I stamp upon. It was in with the fun foam area of Hobbycraft. If you've got a craft store near you, they might have it. If they don't, use maybe a couple of pieces of fun foam or something. You'll get probably a better impression. So let's go through doing this, and I'm going to talk where we go, but I'm going to try and not eke this out too long. It doesn't need to be a long video. So I use permanent inks. Now, I don't normally use this brand. I bought them because everyone else was using them, but I found that on anything other than just plain paper or plain card, they tend to be too slow for me drying wise, and I tend to smear them. But for this, they are absolutely perfect. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to use my block. Now I'm going to go through, because I like my labels have different colors. I don't have red in this, but I do have red in, actually it's a good idea. I've got red in archival, so I might do a red set as well. I like my stamps to have different coloured edges. Now I will put the stamp pad to the stamp itself. It's foam. You could do these with acrylic paints if you wish. So I'm going to come in, and this is A4. Now for you, if you're in America, you will likely to have a different size. I believe that you're 8.5 by 11, I think it is in America. I think it's called letter size. So I'm just going to get these on here. Now I designed it so it's a small compact stamp. I can do it all in one go. Let's put the lid on that one. I'm going to switch to the brown. I'm going to go straight over the previous colour, because if there are slightly unique shades of border, that also doesn't bother me. There you go. Let's put that down. I obviously missed a bit, but you know, that also doesn't bother me. This is the joy of the process I'm doing, and I'll explain as I go along. So I'll really quickly get these done. I do occasionally spin it round a little bit and turn it. Right, so I've got, let's do some red ones, because I haven't got any red ones stamped. So I'm just going to stamp off, I've just got a bit of kitchen paper here. Just going to stamp off the excess. I'm not too worried that they're not bright red. I mean, that's nothing that's going to worry me. I just realised I haven't got any red stamps done, so this is a good opportunity to do this. So pop it down there. Oh, see, it's got a lighter colour. Oh, see, I went too close, and I went too close there by accident, because obviously I'm trying to look through my camera to do my iPad to do this. But never mind, I just won't cut those out. So that's my sheet of paper. Now, first of all, before we go any further, put the lid on that. Yes, this is a label stamp, but that's a background now. So I could use that as a background detail and do stuff over the top of it. I could come in and colour in the little squares and create something that's like a mosaic background paper. So just be aware, that's one thing you could do with it. And as an example of that, I cut these labels out, and this is the tag I made to advertise them on my website. And as you can see, I stamped directly onto the card in the background. I did it in grey, and then I just stacked blank labels on it, put a bit of a feature up there. But you know what? So this isn't just a stamp for label frames. It's a stamp that you can create interesting backgrounds from. So let's put that to one side, because I'll be dealing with that in a minute. I just want to quickly stamp these out. I do apologise, guys. Feel free to fast forward. You know, I'm never going to worry about that. But I'm only going to get 2 of them on each of here. So we should be fine. Let's just go to black now, because I've got some reds done. It looks like my red ink pad is beginning to die on me, but it's an old ink pad. I've had it a long time. So there you go, just on the regular book page. And there's a reason I'm doing them on the book page. I'm not going to stamp them as per se, but I just want to show you what I would do with those. So again, on the design of these, and we'll talk about it when we're cutting them, I didn't give sharp corners to the labels, but I did give it just a tiny little notch just to take the pointiness off it, because they're my labels, and I personally like doing them without having corners on things. So just get this one done. So that's this batch done. A bit hasty, but it's fine. Now let's put all the inks out the way. So now this, because it's archival, is going to dry anyway, but I do like to just stamp my stamp just to get it off there, just in case. So this will just go back into my storage now. So let's take that out of the way for the time being. So I have these. Now what I would say I'm going to, well not going, I am doing is, I normally take these and I will just cut them down the middle, and then I don't fussy cut these out immediately. These just go into my fussy cutting box, or my label box. And the reason I do that is because there are always times when I go, oh, I wish I had that label or this label, or I wish I had something I can stamp it on. So I keep these as blanks. So if I was working on something, I went, oh, I really want a number there, but I want on this color or this color or this color, then I keep these to one side and they're kept in with things like this, which is the box that I keep the labels in, and I can use them that way. So let's move on to the next bit. So we're back to our original here. Now, I created these. Oh, look, there's even more of the Tim Holtz stamps. I created these to be the sizes I like. And I created them because I know roughly what size numbers I've got. But these can be used for numbers, they can be used for words, they could be used to completely keep blank. If you're someone who's got good handwriting, you could go in and do maybe false signatures and extra details in there. So these are Tim Holtz stamps. It doesn't have to be Tim Holtz stamps. They can be any stamps. I think these are Tracy Fox stamps. So these have got little words in them. They've got extra numbers in them. So I'm going to use these because they're just easier to see on screen, to be honest with you. So I normally have a look through my stamps. I need that back, aren't I? And I'm going to do stamping in black because it's kind of easier when it comes to this. And I've looked through these and found that most of the numbers have something you can put them into. So I normally just rest it on top and go, right, that will fit there. So I'm just going to pick that one up. Now I'm doing this through an iPad, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to center it up. And I will just come through and stamp randomly. I don't cut them first. And the reason I don't cut them first is because if I mess up the stamping, if I've already cut them out, then I've wasted my time because I won't use that one, will I? So let's go for another one. Will that fit in one of these? Yes, it does. So this is one of these things that I do. So if I'm waiting for paint to dry, or I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, this is something I can do. Just take a few minutes just to stamp stuff out. And then in the future, I can fussy cut it. So I'm going to do one more. Where's the one I wanted to show you? Right, let's put that back. Now, I'm doing lines of numbers. Look for things like this too, which are little labels that are all just a shape. Now, I happen to know this fits perfectly in that square. Well, it does fit perfectly in that square if I can line it up and look down at it. So let's see if I can get this done for you. So there you go. So you see, it's perfect for that. So if you've got that set of labels, numbers, then by all means, just know that this one fits. But I could also quite easily have come in. I could have gone through my text stamps and seen I've got signatures or stuff like that. Anything that will fit in there, you can use. Let's see, I've got one more that I want to have a look at. I had one the other day and I can't remember what it was. I've got a feeling it's in here. It was Word. I think it was a Word. I think that was it. Note. One of these fits the word note. Oh, it was in there. So this is a double label. So it's a frame inside a frame. And I quite like that idea. So I can just come in and I can pop that in there quite easily. So it is whatever you want it to be, guys. So let's do the whole fast forward thing. I'm not actually fast forwarding, don't panic. But let's just jump ahead to we finish. Boom, there you go. So there's one already done. Now, again, I could keep this quite easily in my little stash and just fussy cut it while I'm waiting for things to happen. Now, what I did do is if you cut these out from the big paper, I have lined up certain edges. So trying to save on time because I hate fussy cutting. So if you cut along the first line, and this is the edge of the square, remember, the edge of the stamp. Cut along the second one. Just with those two cuts, you've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 label sides. Again, go along here and go along here. So I've tried to make it as quick as I can by lining stuff up. It doesn't happen that I've got a shaky hand today. I've just had a cup of coffee, it doesn't help. So when it comes down to then cutting these out, you'll find other labels might also be lined up. So I'm not doing it at the moment, but pop that out. So these two are lined up. These two are lined up with that one. So I could quite easily do the same thing again. I could cut all the way to the end of that one. All the way to the end of that one. All the way to the end of that one. Then all I need now is just to snip those off. But I'm not going to go through all of this because you're going to get bored, aren't you? I know I would. So, right, as I was saying, for the corners, I've created the stamp. So if you just nip the very end of this off, you'll have no exposed area. Now, I did try and design it so that it would fit with the smallest one of these, but it doesn't. It cuts off too much. So I managed not to do that. It was something I was aiming for. So when you've done that, let's just get this. I can't pick it up. So I'm just going to quickly snip these. Let's take that out of the way. So as you can see, it doesn't take long to start separating the labels out. And then as you saw with this is one I did just to prepare for this video. These are the labels I've got. So these are just ones that I've stamped on bits of old book paper, stuff like that. And these are obviously the lighter ones which come from the book page. But then these are the darker ones which come from the coffee dyed. So guys, I've done the best I can to make something as simple as I can. Comes in one size. Will I make another one in the future? Probably not. If I did, it would be hexagon, pentagon, and that's probably it. Or maybe just a fractionally larger rectangle one. But I don't know whether I need it. I certainly wouldn't do rounds because you've already heard that I struggle cutting rounds. So it depends on how popular this one is. If there is a demand for it, I might do labels that are a bit longer or interesting other shapes. So just know that's where I got, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you will enjoy the product. As I said, it was just something that I must have been so silly. I just didn't do it earlier. And I certainly had the facility to make one, but it does mean now that all of these are probably redundant because I'm likely to use those. I might keep the bigger ones just in case. I mean, I've not used them so far, but you never know. And don't forget, doesn't have to be Tim Holtz numbers. Doesn't have to be numbers at all. It could be words. It could be whatever you want. If you've got little tiny stamps with flowers or elements that fit in these, go for it. So guys, that's enough from me, I think. I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time. Oh, and there's a link in the description box directly to this stamp should you wish to get it. Bye guys.